T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff.
All right, welcome to Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lug.
I'm J-Boy.
And I'm T-Dog.
Yes, sir. T-Dog is back this week. He was away at the U.S. Olympic swimming trials in Indy. T-Dog, how was it?
It was good, and let me say, I listened to your all's show last week, and you did great. I loved it. The only thing that there are two things I will say though. You all, come on, man, Dream Team. It's Barcelona, not Seoul.
Whoa, that was
it's
cold.
Barcelona. That's Barcelona, and I could be wrong.
You're
Lugs.
right. No, it was.
Yeah, and then the other one is I think Lugs brought up that Steelers are paying off Russell Wilson's. No, like he's actually cheaper than Justin Fields this year. They got him. They traded for Justin Fields. I think he was essentially let go by Broncos. So like they're getting him for a song. So
man, we're glad you're part of the team.
Bronx,
yeah.
The Bronx are having to pay the bill on that boy.
Yeah, they're still paying the bill.
You're right. 92
So-
Barcelona. We're bad. And,
well, it's just like look. To be fair to you all, that's the one I enjoy the Summer Olympics for whatever reason. That was the one that completely enraptured me. That's the one I watched the most of. I stayed up
Dream Team.
late. Yeah, and even besides them, I stayed up and watched pretty much everything. That's like the only Olympics I think I've ever done that for. So.
Oh, well, that's good. So, okay, we'll talk about that, and thanks for fact-checking us on the other bit, too. We don't know what we're doing most of the time, so we're grateful
No,
for
that's
that.
not true.
Ooh. Russell Wilson and the Dream Team in the same sentence. Could that happen again? I don't think so. Okay, the Boston Celtics are king of the world. Lugs, you're a big basketball NBA guy. 18th championship. Most of all the teams now, the Celtics stand alone as kings of the world. What do you think?
Well, they went against sort of the pattern with the NBA. The NBA tends to create stars. You'll have a couple of stars. Dallas had a couple of stars, and Luka Doncic and Irving. But the Celtics were that unselfish team. They made it a team, and I'm glad to see that they can finally win a championship with the crew they have. They've had, I mean, it's an amazingly deep team. I don't know how they're going to keep it all together, but they seem to work together well. And so it was fun to watch. My only other comment was Luka needs to grow up a bit. He whines at every call. He just whines. It's like, come on now, you're not an 8-year-old girl. You're a professional basketball player, and also get in shape, dude. You look like you just had 2 cigars and a pizza before the game.
Whoa,
Come on.
2 cigars. Do you eat cigars? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's famous for smoking
right.
cigars on his private plane.
I'm slow here. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
That must be the European way, the way his build and diet is, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I will agree with Lugs. It's incredible, like how great Luka Doncic is. If he was more, maybe a little lean, maybe what he could be capable of. But that's all I'll say.
And I would say this: Joe Mazzulla, the Celtics coach, he's only 35, so he's got a long way to go. And what a great way to get going! But 6 years ago, guys, he was a Division II college basketball coach. That's quite a rocket to start him there.
Well, you go, Lugs.
I was just going to say Joe Mazzulla owes Brad Stevens $1 because Brad Stevens hired a very good group of assistant coaches.
Yep.
But Mazzulla has gotten those guys to work together. I mean, where else would your number one Tatum give way to your number two in Jaylen Brown. That's coaching there, convincing those guys that we work together, we'll do the ultimate goal and win championships. And they have. I don't know if they'll repeat, but right now they're golden.
My main thing on this is again, I'm as much of an NBA head as Lugs, but the one thing I do enjoy about the story is this is a team that has lost the finals a few times. They lost the Golden State Warriors. You know, they had deep runs in the playoffs and they came up short. And a lot of people question Tatum, and you know, even going into this series, even though they are deeper because of the star power of Doncic and how Kyrie kind of through the Western Conference playoffs had reascended to some degree. There were some people picking the Mavericks. Now they are a team that got hot like right at the end of the season for the most part. But I'm just gonna say this. This is the story. This is one of my favorite stories. Is like the team that everyone is always counting out, or like they you know, like they had a few goes at it and they're like, this is over with. This is like when Ovechkin won for the Capitals. This is like when Ronaldo won the World Cup after he was supposed to be the guy and he was kind of out of shape and he was just marvelous in in Asia. And you know, it's always my favorites. Or you know, when Dirk Nowitzki beat the Heatles, you know, right at the start of their run. You know, these are the stories I like. Is Tatum like one of the top 5 players in the league? I don't know. He's definitely up there. Jaylen Brown, both those guys got extensions, and you know, when they got, you know, particularly when Jaylen Brown got his extension, a lot of people were like, "What are they doing? Like, we know this doesn't win a title." And you know, then you also add into it, like you said, Joe Mazzulla. Like a lot of people thought he was, you know, underqualified, and how, you know, just sometimes you got to take a few years to kind of grow into it. And that's what he did. You know, Kristaps Porzingis, he was a talented player for the Knicks who, you know, because of his injury problems, had kind of bounced around. He got to have, you know, and you know, then you have Horford, who just kind of hung around, and he finally got that championship to match with his, you know, University of Florida championship rings. You know, it was just a great story, I think, all around. For you know, it's weird to say for the team that has the most championships, but it was great for a lot of the players, I would say, not maybe for the team and its history. For me, I enjoyed it.
And Porzingis will have off-season surgery that'll take like leg surgery, so he's got a little bit of a recovery ahead of him. So good to see him get in the game and play. And I want to just throw this possible corollary. Okay, back in the day, if you remember, when the Bulls started their run of 6 out of 8 years, 6 out of 9. Doug Collins was the first head coach, and he gave way to a young Phil Jackson. Is this the same with Brad Stevens to Joe Mazzulla? Kind of the same scenario in my mind. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, who's to say? I mean, Lugs, you're the big basketball head.
You're the man.
Do you say so?
Well, this year the Celtics were the winningest team. They're certainly the deepest by far.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, given all that is there now and what they have in place, they certainly have a great chance of repeating. But you've still got to deal with Jokic at Denver.
Yeah.
And I think the Denver team would have given the Celtics far more trouble.
Than the Mavs.
Because once they figured out, all you got to do is frustrate Luka, and then he is an amazing bucket getter. He can get you a bucket pretty much from anywhere, anytime. But he's easily frustrated. You could just see it. And then Kyrie gets what he can, but Luka has the ball 90% of the time. So you've committed to him. I just don't see the Mavericks coming back. I can't see them even. They may make the playoffs, but they certainly won't do a deep run.
All right. Well, congrats to the Boston Celtics. 18 championships, surpassing the Los Angeles Lakers, who had 17. So kind of exciting for the Boston folks and anybody out east. Hey, the Celtics, they won. Boston. Yeah, let's go. So good. All right, let's talk about something else. The opening ceremonies of the 2024 Summer Olympics are set for July 26th, just a little over a month ago. And that's what we want to concentrate on tonight. T-Dog, you had some questions, some ideas you wanted to throw at the panel. I'll call us a panel. Take it away.
That's right. The three-man weave. Basically, I don't have a lot of regrets in life, but my one regret that I bring up to people, jokingly, semi-jokingly, but I'm not like a great athlete. I have some athleticism, but I'm not a great athlete. So I'm not saying I could run the 100-meter dash. That's not true. Or, be on the basketball team or even do swimming. But I'm asking you all, is there a small niche sport in the Olympics that you kind of watch if you're flipping it on and maybe like at 3 o'clock in the morning and they're showing it, air, whatever country it's in, and you're like, if I would have dedicated like 3 or 4 years of my life to it, I think I could have snuck onto this team. Or an individual sport. I don't know. Is there anyone that kind of sings to you all?
Lugs,
Well,
you're right in there, man. I know you are.
in my teens, in high school, I was a ping pong fanatic.
Okay.
Man, at every opportunity, my buddy Ronnie Tipton had a ping pong table. We were down there hours and hours and hours, and then we had 2 ping pong tables at school. So I think now I would have had to change my name to Ching Ping Wing or whatever. Sorry, folks, don't write in letters. It's gonna make.
His name is Lugs. Lugs. Simple name. Simple.
Anyway, let's put it this way. I could have beaten Forrest Gump, I do believe. So that would have been my sport.
Okay.
I got one. I'm going winter games though. I can't go summer. I don't. I can't run fast.
Well, you're from the old country.
I am.
So.
You ready?
Yes,
curling. Curling. Totally could have done that. Totally. Okay. So little known fact. My wife doesn't listen to this podcast, so this is good. We both took lessons at the local curling club, summer of 20 or winter of 22, 23, somewhere in there, right around December, and got, let the rock go. It weighs 40 pounds, by the way, and I could get it in the house, as they say. That's the bullseye thing.
Yeah.
Now, I can't do your hook or but I could get it in the house. Had a few lessons, but then we realized, what's real common in that sport?
Alcohol.
That's true. Yes, that's completely true. But before you get there, head injuries, people falling down and whacking their head just on pickup games, so to speak. But so we joined the curling club, and here's the only reason. I wanted to get an Olympic jacket, with the rings, and all it would say on the bottom is alternate. Just that's all I wanted. I didn't want anything more than that. Yeah. Alternate U.S. Olympic team. I just, if I was 20th in line, fine. 30th, 300th, that's what I was shooting for. It didn't work out. We gave it up, but curling, T-Dog, that would be it. Curling. What about you?
That's a great answer.
What about you?
That's a great answer. Again, I had to look on the Summer Olympic sports that are available, and I will be honest with you, just like I said, going down the list, badminton, no. Volleyball, not tall enough. Rowing, don't have the shoulders.
I got one for you.
Judo technique. Yeah. Which one do you think I could do?
Javelin, dog. Javelin.
Javelin?
You could totally do that.
Javelin. But here's one. I don't even know. Have you all ever seen this version of this game played? It's in the Olympics. I mean, I know of this sport, but I know of it one-on-one. But have you all ever heard of team handball?
Say what?
I haven't.
Team handball. So it's 2 teams of 7. They pass the ball using just their hands, and they aim it to the goal, the opposing goal, and it consists of 2 periods of 30 minutes.
How big's the ball, man? How big's the ball?
I believe it's the size of like a regular handball, like so it's relatively small. So
Wow.
like I'm just saying how see this is like I said, I jokingly say like this is what I would have liked to have at least devoted some of my time to. It's kind of like a soccer, but with like it's probably slightly bigger than a softball. Watching highlights of it right now, but yeah, I think I could have done it. I really do.
You're
Now, would I
watching
have been?
highlights right now.
Yeah,
You like really?
yeah. What could I have been like a starter? Again, I am not like a person who's boastful. I'm not even saying I've been a starter. I think I could have made the bench though, and like kind of like what J Boy's saying. I could have had that jacket with rings on it, and people
That's
would
all
be
you
like,
wanted, man. That's all you
yeah,
want.
that's the thing. Is like people are like, hey, so you're an Olympian? And it's like, yeah, I was an Olympian. It's like, what sport? I'm like, handball. What was that? I'm an Olympian.
Yeah,
So
I mean that's all you wanted is just some recognition, a little swag.
yeah.
That's all the guy wants.
Yeah,
You know?
I know I don't have the agility and strength to be a gymnast, or I don't have the skills to be a Greco-Roman wrestler, but I could do handball.
But so Lugs, T-Dog's got the ball, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
Hang here.
You've got 10 seconds. The countdown.
Miracle on handball.
Yeah, I think it would be fun if they did handball and replace that ball with a Super Ball. And watch that sucker bounce.
That'd be your extreme games, I do believe, right there. Yep, the miracle on what do they play on? Grass, tennis, clay?
No, it's a like
Wooden floor?
It's like a wooden floor.
Like the boys' gym at Lincoln Junior High when I was growing up. It's that kind of thing. Not much more than that.
Probably.
It's wild, man. Yeah, you should watch it. It's crazy.
Say, T-Dog, I always imagined you as a Frisbee golfer.
Oh, yeah.
Not exactly.
Or maybe hacky sack.
Oh, hacky sack. Probably ultimate frisbee. I don't know about frisbee golf. I don't know if I have the technique for
Yeah.
golf. Hacky sack, I had decent enough hand foot skills to be probably adequate. So maybe you're right on that. But was that ever an Olympic sport? I think it could have been. I mean, we had ballroom dancing at one time. So
We did.
And skateboarding, I think, has just snuck in. Credit to the X Games.
Yeah.
They walked so that the Olympics could run.
Walking tall.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because, like I said, like it's one of those goofy things that like I say, semi joke about, but it's like if there's one regret, it's like not really trying to invest time in making some tertiary or side sport of the Olympics and like sneak it in.
Well, it's one of those things like you're laying in bed, you can't sleep, and you got things going through your mind. You start dreaming, what if and you hear that, that heart music.
Yeah.
What if I were an Olympic athlete? What would I be? And you just start going through the list: handball, tennis, skateboarding, and then you're out. That's how that's a good thing.
You guys, you have when you're trying to go to sleep and you're dreaming or almost dreaming.
Yeah.
See, my dream is what language would a cactus speak if a cactus could speak? That's more where I'm at.
Whoa.
I'm thinking Swahili. But anyway.
For a cactus? Dude, they're only if it's a saguaro cactus, they're only in Arizona. Why would he speak Swahili?
Hey, they're international, baby. They've got the internet. And what do you think they're doing with those arms?
It's not easy being green. Yeah, right. Okay, T-Dog, we got something else about the Olympics. I can't remember what it was. I got so confused.
Oh, not the
delirious
Olympics,
in this last topic,
But again, since it's other sports,
Yeah,
but,
other
it
stuff,
could be an
yeah.
Olympian. Yeah, it could be an Olympian is just with I'm trying to think about who was. Oh, he just signed a contract with the Atlanta Falcons. Lad McConkey signed his 4-year deal, a second round overall pick, great wide receiver out of Georgia. But I just want to ask you all, with the start of this show, Lugs cued us in on a backup running back by the name of Cavassier Smoke. Who was a UK running back. Such a great name that I always remember it. I'm gonna ask you all, like, who has one of the best names in? It could be football or any other sport today. Like that, just again, maybe when you're lying in bed, not even you're admiring them as a fan, but you're like, man, what a great name.
Lugs,
Go
you got
ahead,
one?
Jay.
I got two. First of all, one is okay. When I was a kid, and the Montreal Expos had become a baseball team. Okay, yeah, 1969 is when they were born, and then they went away and moved to Washington D.C. But doesn't matter. The PA announcer would come on at their ballpark, and you'd hear it on the TV game. Now batting number 11, Enzo Hernandez, and my brother and I thought his first name was 11 Enzo. Or that's how they pronounced it in Canada, because they spoke French up there. Is that how you say 11? Is 11 Enzo? So I thought 11 Enzo Hernandez. But also, breaking news today, this is just in. On the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy is now going to be known as J.J., and Justin Jefferson, who I found out doesn't like the name Justin, just wants to be known as Jets. So that's it, man. If you can, anybody, Madonna, Michael, Jets. If you have a one-name nickname, I think you've made it big time. So, Jets.
Was that a part of his new contract?
I don't know.
Well, as long as he's not Cinco de Mayo or something like that.
Ocho Cinco. Yeah, Chad Ocho Cinco. Go ahead.
Well,
Alex, go ahead.
Now, my favorite is a North Texas football player. His first name is Mohammed, but he goes by Mo, and his name is Mobility. So he's Mobility. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Mobility. No, I'm not.
Mobility.
Look him up. Mobility, North Texas State.
Hi, Mobility here for Mobility Vans. Yeah.
I know. It's crazy.
Wow. T-Dog, yours.
I have a few. I will say this off the top though, because my first one who's currently playing, and I don't know what it is about this position. It feels like the names just really fit the position. Tight ends. Tight ends have like the greatest names where they just call out to like you're gonna be a tight end. Just drafted by the Raiders. How is Brock Bowers not a tight end?
True.
Just by that name.
True.
I mean, and it goes with, Rob Gronkowski,
Yep.
Mike Ditka,
Yep.
Kellen Winslow, and I'm trying to find my man. Where is he? Dave Casper, the Ghost, and what is it? With the Giants, the old school Giants under Parcells, was it Bavaro?
Yeah.
Mike Bavaro?
Yeah,
And
Mike
like
Bavaro.
Tom Rathman.
Well,
No?
Lugs, you're an entomologist. Is that about bugs or language? I don't know what that studies, but you're
No,
that.
etymology is word.
Okay, right. So I'm saying those are Slavic names and most guys who play tight end are Slavic. Do you go with that?
Yeah, I'd say sure.
Ditka,
Yeah.
Gronkowski, Eastern European for sure. Bravero.
Yeah, Mark Bavaro. And then speaking of like my old school name that I love, and also just he spelled his first name with a K, so it adds some extra luster to it, zest, is Bronco Nagurski.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, that's going back right there.
That's it.
I know, but there is no more like that is a football player name than Bronco Nagurski. The only thing up there, also on the same team or came from the same team, Bulldog Carter. What kind of name is that?
That's
Name
really
a
good.
person Bulldog.
That's really good.
So
Well, my other one
yeah,
is my favorite name for a receiver. LSU's receiver, Major Burns.
Like from MASH, from Frank Burns.
Yeah, except he says he puts major burns on people. on defensive
See,
backs.
a name that can work as a verb or a noun, that's strong right there, you know, or an adverb, or is that an adjective? You guys are better studiers of the grammar than me. Major, I'm going to put Major Burns on you. My name is Major Burns.
Yeah. And then let me say one more.
Sure.
At Florida International, they have a kid named Rowdy Beers.
Is there any other kind? Really? I mean, that's all there is, really, when you think about it.
I just like that Lugs is like a international scout for us in terms of like names at colleges. Like he knows them. He scouted Cavassier Smoke for us 4 years ago and was able to tell us about them.
I love those kind of names. You know, it's like Alabama had a player name, and he may still be there. His name's Kool-Aid McKinstry.
No, he was drafted this year. Yeah, no, he was drafted. Yeah, he was drafted. So, yeah.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. All right.
Yeah. Who knows?
Do you think, see, if they had the marketing team going well, they'd have that, Kool-Aid man come through the wall. Remember that back in the day? Commercials. Then wouldn't it be strong? Like that'd be your mascot. Get rid of the dog, the bulldog, the whatever, the banana peels, whatever your mascot is, and bring out the Kool-Aid man and get Kool-Aid to buy into it. Give them packets out at the ball game, at the football game. That'd be so good.
And Kool-Aid could give them some of that NIL money.
Yeah.
I mean, how far are we from having patches on the players' jerseys and helmets even? So
getting close, because they just agreed that the NCAA, you can put logos on the football field. Is that this year or next year? Like college football can have a logo painted on the field, like, Geico or name anybody else, Progressive or Kool-Aid. Let's go.
Yes, let's go Kool-Aid. Hey, you know what?
First to break it here, breaking news.
Kool-Aid is a cool name, but like luckily, and even if someone's like Kool-Aid, it's like I hate being known by Kool-Aid. At least it wasn't Booger. Poor Anthony McFarland.
That's horrific, man.
Yeah, poor Anthony McFarland. He's now in his like 50s, and some people go, "Hey, Boog."
Hey, Boog, what's up, Boog?
He's like, "Come on, man.
Come on, man. Back off, man.
Leave me
alone, man.
I paid off my house.
I got kids at home, man.
Yeah, it's like,
don't go call me Boog.
I'm a grown man. What do you call me Boog?
I'm a grown-ass man. Okay. You had something else, but hey, Lugs, do you have any sports yesterday? Then we'll come back to the last topic of the day.
Sure.
Okay, hang on a minute. I got to find that slick open that the intern team put together. Here comes sports of yesteryear. It's Lugs' favorite topics of days gone by, here, there, and everywhere. He's coming in now to bring it to us right here in person. Go ahead, Lugs. Go ahead.
All right, 1911, Detroit Tigers trail the Chicago White Sox 13-1 in the seventh inning. Detroit recovers to win 16-15 for the biggest comeback in Major League Baseball history. Now, speaking of comebacks, 1960 U.S. Open men's golf, Arnold Palmer stages the greatest comeback in tournament history. He was down seven strokes in one round, came back and won the title by 2 strokes over Jack Nicklaus. 1976, Bowie Kuhn, the baseball commissioner, he voids Oakland A's sales of players Joe Rudy and Raleigh Fingers to Boston Red Sox and Vida Blue to the New York Yankees. Charlie Finley was not happy at all. 2100 U.S. Open men's golf. Tiger Woods wins his first U.S. Open by a championship record, 15 strokes, folks. And finally, 2023 U.S. Open men's golf, little known American and since disappeared, Wyndham Clark wins his first major as he beats Irishman Rory McIlroy by a stroke. That's it for this edition of Sports of Yesteryear.
Well, all right. Good job on that. I have a question. Oh, Charlie Finley, owner of the Oakland A's, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. He wanted, do you guys remember this controversy? He wanted to change the baseball from white to orange. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No.
He did. And and all his players could not have facial hair. and you had to wear white shoes when you played for the Oakland A's. And if you notice, they broke that up until then. Baseball players only wore black shoes, but his team wore white shoes, and he wanted orange baseballs. He thought it'd be easier to see, especially in the outfield and against the sky. How about that?
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him, did it? All right, T-Dog, speaking of, you had another topic to round us out here on the program.
Yeah,
we got about 10 minutes left here.
Round us off and circle back to the beginning a little bit with Tatum and Brown winning the title, where, like I said, not so much us. I mean, we're big basketball heads, but we usually leave it on the back burner when we can. But people that really follow the sport are more I guess upfront about talking about the sport. They didn't think they would win, but I'm happy they won, because I always like these narratives of this group can't ever win. So I'm asking you all. Now, you can be biased to your teams or whatever, if not, but like if not, that's fine too. Like, is there a player in any sport currently right now that you're hoping they win at least a title? I'm not saying they become a Michael Jordan and they just dominate their sport, but at least win a title, so you don't have to worry about hearing this narrative like 6 or 7 years down the road, or ending the narrative where you're just tired of hearing this narrative. This person can't win the big one.
Can't win the big one. Lugs, you got one?
Yeah, I was going to go back to the Atlanta Falcons. A guy that I think is just a defensive tackle, David Onyemata. I mean, he gets like 8 sacks every year, and he's just been on the Falcons. They've been 7-10 forever. So that's my guy that I would hope that the Falcons, and even though I lambaste old Kirk Cousins every chance I can, I hope for this David Onyemata, for him to get something out of this career of his.
Wow, out of nowhere.
That
was what I would have never would have guessed.
For our listeners, first of all, that's the 300th episode in a row that Lugs has mentioned Kirk Cousins, number one. Number two, he pulls a guy out of a lineup that I couldn't pick out of a police lineup. David, what? Who? Where? What? Wow.
Onyemata.
Okay. So, and yours too, on your mama.
Oh, yeah.
T-Dog, I'm going posthumously on you here with this topic. I'm going to go back to my childhood days. Young Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, never won a championship, played about 21 seasons of Major League Baseball, 2-time MVP, 514 home runs career. He always had a smile on his face. He always famously said, "Let's play 2 today." He loved baseball so much, and he came up in an era where, black players were just breaking in. He played in the 50s and the 60s and early 70s. And anyway, super nice guy. Never met him, only, read about him, saw him in videos, saw him interviewed. But Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, I'd say should have won it. 1969 was a good year. They choked. But hey, things happen, and he didn't win any. But that'd be my guy, going baseball on you there. Baseball, right there. How about you?
Baseball. I'm going to go with one. I'll give a bonus one afterwards. But I gotta. Hey, speaking of consistency, I gotta go with Joe Burrow, man. I gotta go with Joe Burrow winning the big one, and just because one, they're the least valuable NFL team by Forbes, so that would be great for the.
Is that right? Least valuable?
Yes, least valuable of the 32 teams. So for him to win it with Jamar Chase, like winning maybe like with the time expired, Jamar Chase catch it and falling in the end zone. And then also, just in terms of the narrative, it's not as strong as it was like a few years ago. I'd like to see Lamar win it, just so we can get rid of this thing where, he can't play in the playoffs type of thing. I think it's kind of ridiculous. And, I just think he's a lot better player than what people have giving him credit.
Good one.
Still. And, so those are the two.
Excellent. Wow. Okay. Well, we're about out of time. Lugs, want to point out something. T-Dog said he had no regrets in life. Can you say that?
Oh, no. I mean, how many snowflakes are there in a pile?
Regrets. I've had a few, but then again, I'm with you. I'm like, what? No regrets, man. That's a stellar life.
Because I was one of those guys. I had to get it wrong to get it right, That was my MO. I would run at that parked car and bump my head and then go, I shouldn't do that anymore. So anyway, I just wanted to say one last thing here.
Yeah, go.
Congrats to Jake Bates of the UFL. He's a kicker. He just signed with Detroit. He gets himself, now you've heard of the mega deals. He gets a total of possible of 1.98 million. Only 150,000 of that's guaranteed. But hey, he's playing in the NFL. So there you are. Congratulations, Jake.
Man got himself a seat upgrade on that deal going to the big show, the NFL. Hey, this has been Sports and Other Stuff, where you've wasted a perfectly good 40 minutes listening to us. Brought to you in part by Austin Chiropractic. Remember those 5 most dangerous words. Maybe it will go away. Lugs has a friend there. I can't remember his name, but he's there tonight. His name is
Fish. A little known fact, 1947, the future creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, survives a plane crash while working for Pan Am. To honor Roddenberry, Fish is hosting a Trek-a-thon. Beginning of the Saturday at 1 p.m., Fish will be joined by Sulu, George Takei for Trekkies Film Fest, which includes all those starring the original TV cast. Admission is $20, and those in Trek costumes get in free. So there you are. Come on down.
All right, see you next time on Sports and Other Stuff. So long for now.